Many people in the VTubing community doesn't really bother giving males a chance. In fact, I believe a majority of them never even watched a single male VTuber in their entire lives. This is understandable. Kizuna Ai and all the preceding VTubers including Hololive dictated a vast majority of the cultures of VTubing. And accidentally, one of these cultures happened to be that if you are a VTuber that is not a cute and simpable anime girl, you have extremely low chances of ever succeeding. However, there is an exception for this. The usurped king of VTubing agencies back before Hololive, back before Cryokoko, before Holomyth, before the pandemic, before 2020. That exception is Nijisanji. Nijisanji for a long time has always pushed for male talents to be as successful as their female counterparts. Unlike Hololive, Nijisanji doesn't really market their talents as idols, they market their talents as regular streamers. This is especially evident in the fact that the top subscribed and highest earning member of Nijisanji currently is Kuzuha, a male talent. However, even this is mostly exclusive for Japan. In the English-speaking community, I guarantee you a significant portion of them don't even know that Kuzuha is actually a big deal. However, this now changed with the launch of Nijisanji's Luxiem, a massive and very unexpected surprise in the industry that recently popped off. Suddenly, people started to realize that male VTubers may be worth holding in high regard and noticing. Suddenly, the VTubing industry is starting to see a shift in its meta. Boys and girls, I'd like to talk about how Luxiem got so popular and analyze how it has a great many implications for the VTubing industry, possibly even as big as to change the industry's direction entirely. But first, let's set the scene. Before Luxiem, Nijisanji already has 10 talents for their English-speaking branch in a span of 6 months. They all enjoyed relative success and is actually quite enjoyable on their own, especially Pomu, this absolute fucking cutie. However, even with their English-speaking talents, not many people were flocking to them as Nijisanji hoped they would, and quite understandably so. All Nijisanji English girls, Lazulite most especially, had big shoes to fill, especially because of Holomyth's world and industry-changing debut. All the Nijisanji girls were all fun and enjoyable on their own, but their launch wasn't anything special or innovative. Nijisanji was merely following in Hololive's footsteps after seeing how absolutely successful branching out to the English-speaking community was. The concept and the themes were not new or ingenious, which was why I think their debut was underwhelming from an outsider's point of view. That was when some guy in Nijisanji proposed a galaxy brain idea. Why not launch another English-speaking wave, but instead of cute anime girls, we launch hot anime men. Luxiem's announcement was very hype in the Nijisanji community. It was a step into a new direction, a new idea that not many prominent VTuber agencies have even begun doing yet. Although Nijisanji's biggest creator was male, again that was primarily exclusive in Japan. In the English-speaking scene, nobody had a talent that was established there. This might sound like a small deal to you guys, but in a business standpoint, you have to realize that the male VTubing market in the West was untapped. This was the innovation that Nijisanji needed to step up their game on the industry. Many people expected great things from Luxiem, but nobody could have ever anticipated how explosive they would eventually be. Luxiem is a breath of fresh air in the VTubing industry, and this may be the angle and niche that Nijisanji can utilize to propel their company into further mainstream popularity. In fact, they are pretty much already doing that with Luxiem. So how did this happen? How did Luxiem pop the fuck off? Well, there are no specific reasons as to why Luxiem got so popular. There wasn't a specific circumstance or a moment that was a game changer for the group itself. No, the main reason why Luxiem popped off is not because of Nijisanji's marketing, not because of any external factors, but because of the Luxiem boys themselves and the circumstances of the VTubing industry at the time. The idea that Luxiem was so great and needed is enforced by the fact that Japan and China loves them a lot. Even more so than every Nijisanji English member and some Hololive members. Surprisingly, Luxiem blew up in the Asian sphere. I have never seen any Western VTuber receive so much attention from Asia since Gura. The sheer amount of Japanese clippers translating for the boys is actually astounding. I don't compare quality and quantity of clippers for Japan and China, but with what I've seen, they probably have more of an established presence in both countries, more than Holoconsel and all of the Nijisanji English girls. And also, a significant portion of fanarts are from Chinese and Japanese viewers. In fact, I think most of them are from what I've seen. It's actually unprecedented. Again, in comparison, Gura and Kali were probably the only two Western VTubers that those countries gobbled up. While Hololive caught lightning in a bottle with Myth, Nijisanji caught lightning in a bottle with Luxiem. But what is it that makes them so great? Well, there are lots of reasons as to why Luxiem are so great and how each trait contributed to making people absolutely love them. The first trait is their engagement with the fans. Luxiem actually engages with the people in their community even more so than most big-name VTubers. Their Twitter activity is filled with wild and wacky ventures that make it so that they're more approachable and personal. This is also true for Clippers and members of their community. Mista even makes comments on their Clippers and engages with them. You just don't get that kind of interaction with most other corporate-owned VTubers these days anymore. Luxiem goes the extra mile by actually involving themselves with their community deeper than most. This alone is already enough to distinguish yourselves in the saturated VTubing industry. But there's more. In that similar sense, the fact that Nijisanji markets their VTubers as streamers and not idols is really working out for them. Nijisanji does not have the same kind of simping and gachikoy attributes that Hololive has, owing to Hololive's roster of talented girls being marketed as idols. This costs them some degree of mainstream popularity because of how Hololive basically homogenized the idol and VTuber culture. But the plus side to that is that Nijisanji has its own established audience that's different from Hololive. And also the fact that Nijisanji members also doesn't have to suffer the consequences of having extreme simps and gachikoys. Unlike in Hololive, the Luxiem boys, or any Nijisanji members really, are free to interact with basically anyone regardless of their gender and affiliation. The agency pretty much allows all their livers to collab with who they want as long as the other party is also willing. However, what makes Luxiem really special in this case is that they dance between the extremely thin line of having normal fans and having gachikoys. Luxiem have simps that spends a shit ton of money for them while being able to interact with basically anyone. The Luxiem boys attained Hololive's magic of attracting money-tossing simps without attaining the consequences that are associated with these simps. Do you understand how wild that is? Gachikoys mouthing over the possibility that one of their Oshis is in a relationship is a problem that's unfortunately unique to Hololive. This is the result of the idol and VTubing cultures fusioning. There are downsides to this, like I said, but there are also plus sides. And the most obvious plus side to this fusion is the simping culture, which is the center of the VTubing industry right now. They who hold the most amount of simps hold the most power in this industry, and Hololive certainly has them. Hololive enjoys mainstream success, extreme amounts of money from their consumers, and a strong talent establishment because of this culture. But what makes Luxiem's case so special is that they are able to tap into a significant portion of the simping culture and not have to face the consequences that are associated with it. Yes, other Nijisanji members also have simps, but let's be honest, the simping power of Nijisanji fans are not that strong compared to Hololive fans. But the Luxiem simps power levels are considerably powerful on their own. It's almost as if Luxiem is its own bubble in Nijisanji. The Luxiem boys got the best part of Hololive's attributes and the best part of Nijisanji's. And this perfect love child is amazing not just from a business standpoint, but from a cultural standpoint as well. And to add to the fact that they are able to do what they want, the Luxiem boys don't hold back on the things they say. This is true for Nijisanji in general, but the Luxiem boys especially benefit from this because they are new. We've seen our fair share of female VTubers being extremely vulgar and making female-exclusive jokes about their bodies and all those cliches, but rarely do we ever see a VTuber say stuff like,
if you keep giving that convincing villain performance, I'm not gonna lie, I will come.
Yeah, why are you shaking, bitch?
Because he got a big in his butt.
For better coffee experience, you should try cubes of Sugon. Sugon this.
Okay, maybe literally everyone makes a these nuts jokes, but I think you get what I mean here. The Luxiem boys are balls to the walls, nuts to butts, unhinged, unrestrained forces of nature, and it's absolutely fucking great. While many VTubers, especially in Nijisanji and VShoujo, are free to be as degenerate and vulgar as they can be, most VTubers don't say stuff like that solely because they don't want to, not because of company rules like what most people believe. Don't get me wrong, I'm not judging VTubers for refusing to swear and curse as humanly possible, or that their measure of success and entertainment is proportional to how much they swear. I'm saying that, in my opinion, the bigger charm to be had is when someone doesn't hold back, a trait that Luxiem takes advantage of. And besides, any streamer or talent is funnier to most people when they swear a lot. This has a lot of advantages other than being funny and entertaining. It makes you seem more relatable and down to earth to a great many people. See, the thing about a lot of VTubers is that they often give an aura of professionalism and formality. But because the Luxiem boys generally don't hold back, they give little to none of that aura, which is why they feel like they're not even part of a company to me. They feel like their own circle of friends just having fun in the internet. These are the specific points that I think why the Luxiem boys absolutely popped off solely on the basis of their personalities. But how about other external factors? What about the circumstances and the environment of the industry? How did that help them pop off? Well, the saturation and the female-dominated nature of the VTubing industry made it so that Luxiem's debut came at the most perfect time. I made a video one day after Luxiem's debut back in December talking about why male VTubers are so rare. I still stand by those points by the way, but after the debut of Luxiem, I'm starting to see a shift in the meta of the industry. Luxiem actually tackled the issues that I brought up in that video, but I'm not going to go into detail here, but I will summarize them. Basically, I had 3 points. The market or lack thereof, the fact that nobody has found the formula to pop off as a male VTuber, and that it was just way better for a man to be just an IRL streamer rather than just be a VTuber. The first point is the lack of market and audience. In that video, I talk about why there's little audiences for male VTubers because the VTuber community, which is just a branch of the anime community, is majorly consisting of males. However, Luxiem overcame this by catering to females, but to also be fun enough to attract males. Luxiem initially had a lot of interest from females and very few curious males, but extremely quickly they also then ramped up a lot of male audiences. Additionally, since Nijisanji marketed their livers as actual streamers than idols, this made it easier for male audiences, even those who aren't fans of Nijisanji, to treat the streamer as someone not to simp for, but someone to have fun with. If there were 2 pathways in a dirt road, Luxiem is the one that carved a third one in the middle. This is how they overcame this issue, and it's absolutely genius. My second point states that nobody found the formula to become a well-known male VTuber. In this point, I tackled the idea that Kuzuha, being the most popular male VTuber in the industry, was basically just an anomaly. I said that he was just a normal streamer with an anime avatar who didn't play a character and was just himself. I said that every male VTuber out there also tried to do this but nobody succeeded. Not even close. Luxiem tackled this issue by basically changing how they deliver themselves. While Kuzuha doesn't play a character, well, I mean, technically he does, he's a vampire, but he doesn't really commit to it as much as most VTubers do. However, Luxiem does play a character. Now you may ask yourself why this is important. This is nothing new. 90% of VTubers play a character these days, at least those with fantastical elements to their design and lore, including some indie male VTubers. So why is this somehow important for Luxiem? Well, Luxiem was the first to do this as males and with a wider audience. Yeah, we have demon girls in VTubers, like too many of them. Yeah, we have abstract concepts made manifest into hot anime women, but how about men? Where's our demon men? Where's our animal men? Where is the equality? No, I'm joking. This formula is important for Luxiem solely because of the fact that it was a new angle and it was a novelty for this time. However, this formula doesn't guarantee anyone's success. The circumstances are different depending on what kind of VTuber a male needs to be. I mentioned in my video that the formula is different on the specific niche, target demographic, marketing budget, and connections you have as a male VTuber. Luxiem's formula of being unhinged degenerate chads that attracted the female demographic worked, but it is not the miracle answer to every aspiring male VTuber. Like I said, the circumstances and environment of the VTubing industry also played a part in Luxiem's success, so Luxiem's formula, although it worked wonders on them, may not work for many aspiring male VTubers. Because after a while the novelty will be lost, and if too many male VTubers try to copy Luxiem's formula, it's probably gonna die a little too fast. So maybe try to innovate and look for another formula if you're an aspiring male VTuber. Or, you know, just join Nijisanji, I guess. At the current state of the VTubing industry, which is constantly changing mind you, it seems like it's better to sign in for Nijisanji as a male rather than Holostars or being an indie. So if you, a male, wants to be a VTuber, you probably have a better chance succeeding in Nijisanji more than anywhere else. Then again, I'm not some 200 IQ marketing analyst. I'm a stupid YouTuber making videos about cute anime girls and hot anime men, so take my word with as much salt as necessary. In my third point, I say that it's harder to be a VTuber as a male than it is to be a female. But in my video, I did not include the fact that while being a VTuber may be harder due to costs and the abysmal market there is for male VTubers, there are still some pretty massive rewards. For one, you can easily separate your online persona from your personal self, and you can also play a character and go full tuning mode if you want. There are benefits to being a male VTuber, and the rewards are great, but I'd still argue that the rewards are greater for a woman to be a VTuber than a male. And the fact that it's still pretty much easier to be an IRL streamer, so I still stand by this opinion. However, Luxiem went past this problem by Literally going past this problem, the VTubing industry was in dire need of male talents that were actually talented, and Nijisanji was the first to address that in this scale. So they pretty much didn't need to deal with this problem at all. Really, this is the power of innovation when it comes to an adolescent industry like the VTubing industry. Most problems you will encounter are primarily solved by just one simple unique angle or a tweak of an already existing trend. This was how Luxiem overcame the struggles of a male VTuber in this saturated industry. Their surprising success made a statement to the male versus female VTubing discussion. That statement saying that it's very much possible for males to succeed and be as popular or even more popular in the industry than women. Kuzuha wasn't an anomaly, he was just the first of many, and I think it is great. Hell, statistically speaking, they're more popular than the Nijisanji English girls, and even in Twitter they got a shit ton more engagement than some Hololive members. I don't like to compare numbers because I feel like an absolute asshole for doing it, especially when I made that video talking about how Hololive beat Nijisanji in global expansion, but I need to so you guys can visualize my points. So with that being said, let's talk about how other companies can learn how to replicate their success. But to do that, we have to draw comparisons from Nijisanji and Luxiem's counterparts, Holostars. Again, I don't like to compare numbers but I need to. I feel evil putting Holostars on this spotlight and pull their pants down in front of the class, and I'm even aware that it's not a fair comparison, but I'm still going to do it anyway because comparing both is an interesting case study as to why Holostars' boys didn't pop off and why Nijisanji's boys did, even before Luxiem. Let's point out the obvious. The primary reason as to why Holostars didn't pop off is because of their female counterpart Hololive being marketed as idols. Looking at Holostars, which is under their brand, one would expect that Cover Corp would also market them as just male Hololive members. But then there are issues to be had with that, the most glaring being that Holostars would then have to be male idols. However, it doesn't click. Why not, you ask? See, when you think of male idols, you picture a slim, handsome, semi-feminine, and extremely talented youngster. You imagine BTS or Arashi, even Justin Bieber. This is the general perception of everyone in the world when they think of the word male idol. So you hear of Holostars and you would expect to see that kind of image. But no, you look at them and they look nowhere near like idols, nor do they look simpable. Cover Corp obviously knows that the male idol brand isn't working out for the Holostars members, but as a result of that, Cover doesn't know how to market them. Like, at all. They tried marketing Holostars as a male streamer brand not dissimilar to Nijisanji's way, but you have to realize here that Cover's audience have a certain expectation from everyone under the company. Expectations that Holostars doesn't fit into. Cover's audience wants someone they can simp for, as we've established. This is a generalization, but this is true, don't at me. But you look at Holostars and you simply just don't know how to simp for them, resulting to Holostars not getting as much attention as Hololive. It's not easy to say that Cover isn't doing enough by marketing Holostars, because their main problem again is that they don't know how to market them and are suffering an identity crisis. You look at Luxiem, however, and they actually look more like idols than Holostars. They act and look like someone you can simp for. So, yeah, who knew character design plays a huge role in the success of a VTuber and a brand? Gee, it's not like someone explained how character design affects a VTuber or anything. Anyway, the main reason why Luxiem succeeded where Holostars failed was because of Nijisanji and Hololive's branding of them. While Cover Corp may have an explosive success of Hololive by marketing them as idols, the result of that is Hololive's male counterpart, if they don't look simpable, has an abysmally low rate of growing. It's not entirely Cover's fault though, because back when they started Holostars, they had no idea that the simping culture would be an important part of their brand image. They had no idea that Holostars wouldn't be able to benefit from that. So before you raise your pitchforks and curse Cover for Holostars' lack of success, you have to realize that their lack of success was a product of circumstances more than anything else. At least, in my opinion. If Cover has any plans of launching a male VTuber wave, they'll have to learn from Luxiem. They can go about this in two ways. Either backstep or make a new brand that properly markets the talents as streamers and not idols, or they can double down on their brand image by actually having the EN talents be simpable idols. However, even still, I don't think Holostars will be able to succeed as much. Because right now, Nijisanji has a firm grip of the male VTubing market and is free of the idol culture. If Cover and Holostars continues to suffer this identity crisis, Holostars will fizzle out and Holostars EN will probably be a wet fart of an announcement. But again though, I'm not some kind of expert so I wouldn't know. As of now, I'm really enjoying Luxiem. I was initially both a Hololive and Nijisanji fan when I got into the rabbit hole. But over time, I found myself drifting more to Hololive because I found Nijisanji overbearing and intimidating to get into more, mostly because of the number of their talents. Meanwhile, Hololive was more compact and it felt more personal and easier to access because of that. In Nijisanji, I only really watched Pomu, Mito, and Kuzua, but because of Luxiem, I finally sparked my love for Nijisanji as a whole, and even began to explore other Nijisanji members that I was too afraid to invest myself in the past or was too lazy to even give a watch. I sincerely hope that the boys continues to grow. I hope more boys will also come to the industry too, especially since Noctix was just announced. So yes, I have expectations for more men entering the VTubing industry, and if anyone asks how or why that happened, you only need to look at Luxiem to know the answer. Before I end this video, I just want to thank everyone. Last week was simultaneously a terrible and great week for me. Terrible because of obvious reasons, but great because of the support that you guys have been pouring out for me. Being sappy is extremely cringe, but thank you guys, I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the 10,000 subs. I don't know how to deal with this explosion yet, but I think I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and up the quality of my videos while doing it. I put a lot of time and effort into these goofy videos. Some of my past videos admittingly could have been done better, mostly because I didn't rely on a script to further articulate my points, but I still hope you guys still watch them and find them enjoyable. Please keep supporting me by liking and subscribing. Leave a comment if you have something to add in the video or have a video suggestion. Again everyone, thanks.